Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, July 17th, 2025. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central. Thank you for joining us live today. Before we started, in the background was Billy Idol's song Money, Money. And we're not here from a greed perspective, but we are here to work together to get money into the hands of small businesses so they can start, grow, reach their potential. And then, secondly, we're here to get money in the hands of our distribution partners because they play a very important part of educating and enrolling clients in the free Shelf Corps. With that being said, before I jump into today's topic, I'm going to ask each of you a question. If you wouldn't mind, take a moment, type the response into the Q&A. What is the largest client capital raise that you're currently working on? Not that you've ever heard of, but of your current clients or prospective clients even, what's the largest capital raise that you're working on right now? Just curious, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Now, in Matthew's case, because he and I talked about it, I know Matthew, he's one of our branches in California. Matthew's working on at least one deal that's over 10 million, is 11 million. So Matthew has a very high one. We're not competing, just curious. Matthew just confirmed that 11 million is his biggest. Corey, who is one of our state directors in Texas, it looks like we have about 8 different states represented today with branch offices. Corey is in Texas. Largest he's working on is about 250,000. Mr. Hall's largest is 10.8 million. Troy's largest is 3.5 million. So the point in this is that accessing capital, it's real. It's not bogus. It's not a scam. We've had prior trainings where we talked about funding success stories. Yes, there really are lenders that want to loan money. Yes, there are lenders that really want to loan large amounts of money. But who do they want to loan it to? They want to loan it to borrowers that they feel like will repay them, because that's kind of how it works, right? Lenders don't give money, they loan money with the expectation that it'll be repaid. So the role that you and I play as technical advisors is to legally and ethically help clients have a loan package that supports, that warrants, that qualifies for the desired capital raise, whether it be a small amount or a large amount. So with that being said, let's get over to, and thank you for those of you that participate, let's get over to the shared screen. So we have 509pacific.org in the background. So this is our nonprofit website. We're going to use it as a reference piece here for a few minutes. And then we have our inset, which is our agenda. So today's agenda is understanding the grant that's available to assist small businesses in getting funding to start or grow. And so we'll start with an overview, but at any time during our discussion today that you have a question, a comment, a concern, type it into the Q&A and then we'll respond to it. I'll try to respond to it when it makes sense in the context of what we're on. So if I don't respond right away, don't be offended. We'll get back to it. All right, so let's start with the proposition to the client, to the participant. So we're going to get rid of the notes screen. We're on 509 Pacific. We're going to scroll down and we're going to focus on this part of the page right here. And we can make it a little bit larger, can't we? All right, so this part of the proposition is where you and I, it's communicating how we help entrepreneurs get money to start or grow a business. So let's go through what it says. Of course, this is the tagline. Do you need business funding? Get a free Shelf Corp. And then we added the credit sweep because the grant expanded that. We don't care about credit. So if someone has poor credit, fine. We can accomplish the same things as if they have great credit. But if someone has poor credit or imperfect credit, we have free resources to help them. So we added that, not really because it's integral to what we do, just in the fact that people that have challenged credit will sometimes excuse themselves from opportunities like this because they think, oh, they wouldn't qualify. There's no minimum credit score to participate. So, speaking of grant, it says through a new grant, you can receive a free Shelf Corp to qualify for business funding and get a free credit suite. So, there are some basic principles that it's very important that you and I, we're all on the same page. And the first principle is if someone wants money for a business, let's call it business funding. If you want business funding, then you need to have a fundable business. And that's not really very clear or descriptive, but what it's meant to say is you have to have a fundable business. And that's what we get into here in the second paragraph. It's unrealistic to think, oh, I just want money, I need money, just give me money. It's a loan from a lender. Now we have over 1,000, literally over 1,000 different lenders, banks, credit unions, alternative lenders, private credit, they call it. So there's lots of options. Don't worry about that. But what's true in every case? They would like to be repaid and they want to feel confident as they can, that the borrower can and will repay them. So it's childish to think, oh, I just want money. I just want money. I don't need to qualify. I just want money. They should be at home playing Monopoly, not in the world that you and I are in. We have to have a fundable business. So we had a really, really detailed discussion yesterday on one of our new preferred lenders and exactly what they're looking for. So if you missed yesterday's training, definitely go to our YouTube channel and see. But in general, what we're doing with the grant is we're providing a free Shelf Corp. Used to be $10,000. Now it's free because of the grant. And it's providing that foundation that's needed to be able to pursue a capital raise. So we provide them a business entity. And of course, it's in the client's name, of course. Of course, it's clean. It doesn't have any debt or problems. Of course, it's filed at both the state and federal level. Secondly, we put together a business plan. And as we covered yesterday in detail, yes, a business plan is not just nice to have for you to vet through your ideas, but most traditional business lenders want to see a business plan. So this is about meeting what they want to see. It's really not about what I want, and frankly, it's not about what you want. But if the client wants funding, we need to meet the underwriting criteria. Most small business owners don't. There's often kind of a victim approach. A lot of small business owners that want money, that need money, that can't get it, they think, no one really wants to loan money. That's absolutely inaccurate. We get contacted, I would say on average, 3 to 6 times a day by lenders that want to loan money. They're looking for businesses that are credible, that are fundable to loan money. But we need to have a fundable business. So we need to have an entity that's in good standing. We need to have a good business plan. We need financial projections. We need a good address. And we've had detailed discussions about that. We need collateral. And then we also add trade lines to the business so the business looks strong. So this, in essence, is what we call a fundable business. Now, you could argue, well, what if a client or someone already has a fundable business? Well, then they don't need a free Shelf Corp. They could use their business and we could go right to funding, but that's rarely the case. So with the grant, what does the grant do? Does the grant give away money? No, no. The money's available. The money's available through the banks, the credit unions, the lenders. So that's where the money's coming from. The grant provides the Shelf Corp for free. And if not, then these people would have to find some other way to get a fundable business. Most of them don't have it. So we're solving the underlying problem. They don't have funding because they don't qualify for it. Takes us about 1 week, about 7 days. And so we're caught up. We have a lot. I think we ended up processing 60 to 70 plus or minus new businesses yesterday alone. So we have a lot of new businesses being formed. Many of you are doing great. Our top producers are getting about 10 new clients under contract per day. And then some of you, the average is one a day. So, of course, that means some are above, some below. But the bottom line is once the participant has enrolled in the free Shelf Corp program, we need about 7 days to get the deliverables to them. And we call that phase one. And then once phase one's complete, then if they would like, and pretty much everyone does, then we go into phase two, which is the capital raise. So the capital raise is taking that Shelf Corp from phase one and then getting everything ready, building the loan package out for the capital raise. The grant, the documentation, our commitment guarantees a minimum of 100,000 capital raise, but we can go much higher. And just like many of you are working on much higher capital raises than just 100,000. But the process is the same. Now the documentation needs to be different. We need to have a stronger file to go get 11 million for Matthew's client than we do just someone that wants 100,000. But we'll take care of that. So here on 509 Pacific, again, there is the grant packet and a recommended training. So this is, in a nutshell, the proposition for the participant. Are there any questions that any of you have on that side of the proposition before we get down to how we can work together? So this is getting business funding. This is helping other people get business funding. But let's focus on this for a moment. All right, so Selena asks, well, and I think we covered that. Yeah, so the grants providing the Shelf Corp, which used to be 10,000, the grants providing that for free. There's just going to be a one-time processing fee. The amount of the processing fee is determined by the distribution partner. Okay, so I think we're good here. So if anyone's looking for funding, recommend coming to 509 Pacific, watch this training. I think it'll help a lot, and then complete the grant packet, and we're good to go. Really 2 steps. Step 1, step 2. Now, if you're one of our distribution partners, then you're doing the education, and then you're getting the clients under contract versus us. So they would go to your contract link, not ours. Okay, so I think we're good there. If there's other questions, let me know, but let's move on to the other side of the transaction. So in any business, I believe it's a universal truth that there's some business development arm. So no matter if it's a doctor's office or an accounting firm or a law firm or a restaurant, there has to be some element to attract clients or participants. Otherwise, there would be no one to fulfill. So in our world, the way that we are building our distribution model out is by having local branch offices. So when I describe a branch office, I like to start by describing what it's not. It's not a franchise. A franchise, nothing wrong with franchises, but a franchise is like McDonald's. You pay a lot of money. There's a bunch of very tight rules that you have to follow. Ours is what's called a license agreement. So we essentially set up the branch office, and we'll talk about some of the perks here in a minute. But then from that, then the branch office runs autonomously. The branch office keeps 100% of the profits. What the branch offices are doing is really helping us create financially healthier communities. And they work with us for our 3 mandates. The first of which is within their community to improve financial literacy. The second is to give out these free Shelf Corps, which we talked about up here. And then the third is to facilitate access to capital. So the branch offices really are involved with steps 1 and 2. And then we're the back office, we're the administrative office, whatever label you want. We do all the work, quite frankly, and we take care of number 3. From that, the branch offices are paid twice. They're paid first each time that they provide a free Shelf Corp to a client, and they'll determine how much that is. And then secondly, they're paid 5% of the client's capital raise, each client's capital raise. So with that being said, we're opening branch offices in each community across the country. The last I counted before we get started, I think we have 8 states represented just on today's Zoom alone. So if you're interested in running a branch office, I can give you more information here. So anyone that's interested in running a branch office, there are 4 training/resources that we recommend. They're listed here: 1, 2, 3, 4. And then also this is the registration to the live Zooms like we're on right now. So there's information about the branch office here, and of course you capture more by going through this training, but the highlights are summarized as follows. We work together to solve problems by helping provide access to capital. We provide geographic exclusivity. It's a turnkey business model. Expanded support and training, which includes in-person training, easy to implement, free lead system, free landing page, and then we provide access to at least 100,000 to get that office set up, so you have money for payroll, marketing, furniture, so forth. You could own an office or you could lease an office. I think owning is great, but it's up to you. But so we can help you finance that. As I've already mentioned, the comp model is real simple: paid up front, which is great, money in your pocket today, not tomorrow, not at some point in the future, not waiting for someone to pay. Today, and you determine that amount per participant, and then 5% of the back end. Very affordable to have a branch office. There is a license fee, of course, because it cost us to do these things, as you would expect. However, you're just looking at 1,000 out of pocket to hold your territory, your county and state. We can get the rest financed. You're able to determine your own pay. As I mentioned, you keep 100% of your profits. And as we discussed, having funds to get it started. So just simply reviewing the information, hopefully, and then filling out the form here. The business coaching is a little bit of a side, so I don't know that we need to go into it. And of course, our contact information and phone number is here. So who has questions, comments, concerns on what we do? We want to be able to assist you and support you. And so let's go ahead and spend a few minutes on the Q&A. Anyone that's not viewed past trainings, I think that you would benefit from that. All right, Amanda's asking about the reseller versus the branch office. That is correct. So we used to have the reseller program as our primary, and it's still available. It's here. Notice I'm interested in being a reseller, not a branch office. So the comp model is the same for the branches as the resellers. So the compensation is not different. The role is different. So yes, you can still come in and be a reseller. Just come to 509 Pacific, fill this out, check the correct box, submit it, and then we'll send you the reseller packet. Or if you click the branch office inquiry, then we'll submit that. Send that to you, sorry. So there's no cost to be a reseller, not now, not later. And the branch office is a license fee. It's an annual license fee. Each year we're going to decide, are you a good fit for us, and are we a good fit for you, vice versa. But it's very profitable. So it's never going to be a money constraint, because when you're out of pocket, $1,000, and it's designed to generate at least 100,000 monthly, it's not a money constraint. It always makes sense financially. It's just, is this something you want to do? Some people do, some people don't. Our focus is building out these branch offices. This is our leadership team. These are the people that are actively involved. And then we have the dabblers. The dabblers are the resellers. All right, who else has, that's a good question. Who else has questions? It looks like Anthony's asking about training. Yeah, so for our resellers, the training primarily is online, on demand, and then our daily Zooms. The branch offices have access to all of that, plus what we said, expanded support and training. So we actually do in-person training for the branch offices. All right, so Selena's asking, and it was her question from earlier, she's asking about this. So where does this come from? Well, the participants up here, they pay a 10% performance fee off the capital raised, which is fair. It's after the capital is raised. And then we pay 5% of that out to the reseller or branch office. And that's on each tranche, each round. So if the client's capital raise is two rounds, then they pay it on two rounds. If it's three, it's just per tranche per round. All right. Let me ask you a question about the startup allowance. So let's go over to that. So yes, there's a startup allowance for the branch office, and it's set up the same way. Essentially, we're taking the branch office through the program. What better way to show you how it works than take you through it? So it's not capped at 100,000. I think that's Lamey's concern. I believe, I think Laney's in New York, but forgive me. But some areas are much more expensive, or if you're looking at buying an office instead of leasing, we're going to need a lot more. So that's why the plus is there. We can pursue as much as you want to need. But ultimately, we want to have a transparent, effective system. It's a win-win-win. It's a win for those of you that are looking for capital to start or grow a business. It's a win for those of you that are looking to get paid to help others, and it's a great resource for communities because we're building stronger communities. All right, last question, then we'll end for today. Drake's asking about the in-person training. The in-person trainings, we're going to come out and come to your office to do this training. The reason being is we have to credential your office. And we've had topics on that before. So if you've missed that, you can certainly go back and learn more about the branch offices and our on-demand trainings. But it's usually 1 to 2 days, and we'll be coming out to your office to conduct that. All right. Well, thanks everyone. At this point, all I can do is encourage you to go take action. If you're looking for funding, enroll. If you're looking to make money to help other people get funding, then be a distribution partner. Our tech support line is probably our best way to reach us, 903-347-8042. You can schedule a call. We've covered what's on 509 Pacific, and then our past trainings are up on the YouTube channel. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow. Let us know how we can help you. Bye-bye.